what love is. But all the poems written on the subject of unrequited love, there are so few on the pain of being the object of that affection. For humans, the most excruciating form of pain is the agony of being a lover whose affection towards another is unrecompensed. Saddening poems and endless lamentation in music abound on the misery of loving and not being loved in return. But to humans, reciprocity is the bedrock of love. Affection without a proportionate reaction from the object of that affection is a harrowing experience of unspeakable torture for the subject, who is left with an all-consuming emotion called love to a person who pays no attention to that love. Humanity sympathizes in great measure with the subject. For the reckon, it is great loss to love, to offer up yourself to the utmost, to reach out in the most vulnerable way, to combat the resistive inertia and profess your deepest affection, and yet be rejected. Little attention is paid to the object, no sympathy shown, and very little acknowledgement of the loss to the object. For in this unbalanced scale of love, they are the victors. They who have rejected the loving advances of another are considered to have the upper hand. They are elevated by humanity to a position above the subject. Such is the perception of love to humans. Love to these emotionally expressive creatures is a mechanical bidirectional lever that is perfect only when both sides are balanced at the pivot. As a result of this Newtonian perception of love as a force demanding equal and opposite reaction, humanity fabricates a chasm between the initiator of the love, the subject, and the one whom the love is directed, the object. A system that breaks down at any imbalance in the weight of affection, creating the concept of unrequited love, in which the subject, the loser, and the object who rejects the love is the champion. All pity is shown to the subject, but to humans, the object has no need for sorrow, but they have lost nothing. This is a strangely hypocritical conclusion by humanity. For how can a person who has rejected love have no loss? How can a person who has dismissed the promise of unfailing commitment from another, rejected the promise of tender care, refused the promise of endless thoughtful gifts, and declined the promise of perfect purity, not be at loss? If a human should offer a box full of gold, diamonds, and every precious stone to another human, and that person rejects it, whose is the loss? Most of humanity would agree it's the rejecter. It is certainly not the offerer, because their gift being rejected only means they retain possession of their precious commodity. But upon the matter of love, humanity seems to perceive it differently. He who offers love and is rejected is often considered at loss. This is strangely inconsistent, for humanity often desires love far more than diamonds, rubies, and any weight of precious stone. This leaves but one explanation to this rather inconsistent and borderline schizophrenic reaction of humanity to two similar concepts: the offer of diamond gift and the offer of love. Humanity simply does not consider love to be a gift, but rather a burden. For in human living, love must come with equivalent reciprocity, meaning that he who is being loved is not really being given anything, but rather being demanded something of. Herein lies the complexity for humanity, and their bidirectional Newtonian definition of love that presents love as a glorious mechanical emotion that is only complete when balanced at the fulcrum. Therefore, if love is given, love must be expected or demanded in return for it to be a beautiful thing. Humanity's perception of love therefore explains their conclusion that the object of unrequited love has no loss, for there is no loss in rejecting something or someone that demands an equal measure from you. But there is a maverick among them, the stereotypical delusional neoteric, raving about his ideas of what love really is. He described a unidirectional state of the heart of the subject towards the object, with very little focus on the object. These ideas were met with great skepticism, endless criticism, and oftentimes mockery. For humanities simply couldn't see a functional system that is unidirectional. A lever is only balanced if there's equal weight on both ends. An action is only complete if there's an equal reaction. He was nevertheless unrelenting in his proclamation of a love that precludes reciprocity, a love that revolves around the nature of the subject rather than the capacity of the object, a love that is complete in the lover, needing no input from the person who is being loved. The listeners, although skeptical, pondered upon the concept of love put forth by this psychopath, a love that is unreasonably intense but inexplicably liberating. They projected upon themselves the experience of having someone love them passionately and relentlessly and yet demand absolutely nothing of them in return. They were mesmerized by this idea of love and started to slowly reason with this delinquent, but his ideas were far more radical. He pushed even farther and declared love to be immutable, an unchanging, unwavering passion towards an object, for which nothing the object does or doesn't could ever weaken the love nor cause it to relent. The object could be as unpleasant as a cow's dung or as lovely as the prettiest flowers. The love remains all the same through all the seasons of the object, from lava to worm to butterfly and to nothingness. The love stays. The other humans could scarcely wrap their minds around love in this form. He set forth love not as a burden on the subject, but as a gift far more valuable than the finest rubies, a gift of affection that sets the object at absolute liberty to do nothing but simply enjoy its goodies. And as they wrote him off as a madman peddling a love that was physically impossible, he declared to them, I love you. This man, Jesus, spends his days repeatedly setting forth this infinite gift of love for the objects to simply enjoy. He was killed by the humans and yet came back to life, not to achieve any greatness, but to show them again that true love never dies. It persists through the grave and back, steadfastly in love with the species that wished him dead. It is great loss to reject love, if it is indeed true love, for it is simply an offer of goodies and only the love of God.